Om Janmadhyasya yatonvayaditarata charte sabidneswarat tene brahmaridaya adi kavaye muyyanti yat suraya tejo varimridam yatha vinimayo yatra trisargo mrusha Dhamna svena sada nirasta kuhakam satyam param dhimahi. Yesterday we started a new venture to study Srimad Bhagavata Mahapurana according to Sridhar's commentary, but we are not going to read commentary. And let me start today from where we ended yesterday. Yesterday, while thinking of the subject matter, we drifted and we were talking about what is bhakti. Now, I said there are infinite human temperaments. Infinite, literally, no two people's temperament are exactly the same, maybe by coincidence. So, but to understand things, we have to categorize. And in the practical field, there may be a lot of overlapping. But let us understand by categorizing. A man's mind, as far as the Western concept goes, mind is the seat of, I'm quoting from New Webster Dictionary, mind is the seat of consciousness, thinking, feeling, and will. Now, mind is the seat of consciousness. We take in a different way than what the dictionary has said. Mind does not produce consciousness. Mind receives consciousness. That is the seat. And other three are functions of the mind. Major functions of the mind, because in Indian systems like the Aitareya Upanishad and the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, 10 or 15 things are told to be the different mentations of the mind. But the major three are thinking, feeling, and will. We can add a fourth later on, let us see. So now, this thinking has to be directed to analyzing what we are and what is the world before us. Then that would be Jnanam or Jnana Yoga. Now, we have feeling in our heart. And as I said yesterday, emotion is a wrong word, though it has gained too much currency these days. Emotion is biological, superficial. What we think a man consists, as per the dictionary, thinking, feeling, and will. Please do not confuse this feeling with superficial emotion. This feeling comes from deep, tranquil heart, deep, peaceful heart. There the feeling comes. Now, this feeling can be directed to the goal of life as we thought of yesterday, God realization, self-realization, moksha. Some people say bhakti is the panchama purushartha, but we thought that what gives us the sense of permanent fulfillment of life. When we come to a position, we do not want anything further. Do not want anything further. Permanently, never. We have got what we wanted. If this permanent feeling takes possession of our heart, then we understand that is the aim of life. And this aim of life should be the very aim of every activity of ours, then only we can get it. We cannot be bifurcated or we cannot be ramified into thousands of parts. All our faculties, all our energies, especially along with our feeling, have to go towards this aim. Now, this is called bhakti. Now, what is the root meaning of the word bhakti? Let us say. Bhakti can be defined in 1,000 ways. Bhagavad itself will define later on, but the very words tells us something, and that word is two elements are there. The great Swami Brahmananda used to tell in Sri Ramakrishna's name that he taught us to have love and respect and love. So what is this respect? There is somebody called God, and he is the greatest in every respect in this world. He is adorable. He is supremely adorable. He is supremely beloved of everybody. He is great in every respect. And he is attracting us. He is attracting us. We are not trying to attract him. He is attracting us. And that causes a feeling of being attracted. That is the love. So, bhakti consists of these two elements. The greatest achievement in life, the greatest thing in the world, the greatest thing valuable for me, and he himself is attracting me. He himself is pulling me. I do not know where he is. He may be inside me. He may be outside me. He may be everywhere in the world. But he is pulling me. He is pulling me. Now, the question arises, as I said, where is he? He is easily throughout the universe. Everywhere he is, where is he not? And he is beyond. He is beyond everything. He is untouched by anything in this world. It is he who creates, preserves and destroys this world. Such a person. Bhakti is always directed to a person. God may be impersonal, but he is personal also. According to the Sanskrit language, he may be Nirgun, but he is Sagun also. And the Saguna Brahma, or Ishwar as we call it, is the repository of, is the attracting source for everybody in the world. He is the supremely attractive person. He is a person. He may have taken the form of Rama or Krishna or Jesus or Buddha, or he may not have taken any form, but he is a person. He is the all-pervading person. And I cannot retain myself. I am attracted. I am pulled by him. I want to die in him, whatever you like to call it. If he is sugar syrup, I am the sugar. I want to get dissolved in him. Such a tendency comes, such a pull comes. That is bhakti. So according to this, then I said there is a third, all these are predominant constitutions. There is overlapping, but the third I said was an active person. He wants to act always. He always wants to act. even if he reads all the scriptures, his question will remain, then what should I do? Bhakti will never ask you, because his God is pulling him. Let me be pulled. How to get this pull more and more? A jnani may hanker to analyze what is the goal, what is the nature of this pull, why there is a pull, why is the supreme, whether he is a person or is impersonal. Analyze. That is his madness. As I said, there may be a fourth type of person. He is seeking the mysteries of the universe. He is seeking the mysteries of the universe. He may be the Rajogi, but we are not concerned with him. Always meditating, finding the mysteries, that is a different constitution. Now, from this, what we define as the subject matter, understood? What is the subject matter? God is not the subject matter. Love for God is not the subject matter. How to realize our goal by the path of love is the subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam will not only talk of aim, Srimad Bhagavatam will help us by the path of bhakti to realize our goal, which I have repeatedly told, is to find fulfillment of life. So that is the subject matter. We should know from the beginning. We are entering the study of the great bhakti scripture, Srimad Bhagavata Mahapurana, so that it helps us, it guides us, it motivates us, it inspires us. This is the value of scriptures in our spiritual life. Four things, at least four things. It illumines us, it shows us, it inspires us by so many examples. And this very love for God will expose every nook and corner of our mind and the world's secrets. Introspection we shall gain by that. Supreme introspection we shall gain by that, by the scriptures. And as we study, the impressions will go on gathering on us. So with the help of four eyes, intuition, insight, inspiration, introspection, impressions. This is the advantage of the scriptures. Now, I use the word scriptures. Now, whatever may be the dictionary meaning of the word scriptures, the equivalent word in Sanskrit is shastras. Scriptures means authoritative guidance. Scriptures means unfailing guidance. As I said, as we thought of our path that cannot be led by our whims, that cannot be led by our subjective ideas and ideals. It requires a science. It's a great science, not the physical science. This love of God, this path of love of God to go towards God with love, requires an authoritative, unfailing guidance. That is the meaning of the word Shastras or scriptures. Remember this. And we should know this beforehand, otherwise the mind is so much waylaid. What was the social position in the time of Krishna? What was the economics in the time of Krishna? How they used to manage things in the time of Krishna? We are not concerned with that. But the mind is waylaid. If we do not know beforehand what is the subject matter of our study of the Bhagavatam. So we must be aware one pointedly that our subject matter is to how to achieve our goal with the help of this guidance through the path of bhakti. As I said, there is a people with tendency of active people. Now, we may be a combination of all of them, but predominantly we want to study what is this path called bhakti. So it has been told in the announcement, Srimad Bhagavata Mahapurana, the great scripture on bhakti. So that was the point we were talking yesterday. Now I said there are 4 anubandhas, 4 things to be kept in the mind, and up till now we have discussed only 3 of them. We have discussed the aim of life. We have discussed what we are interconnected. So from this we understand we are ready to change ourselves as guided by the Bhagavata scripture to go on the path of bhakti so that we get our aim of life fulfilled. That is we. Now the 4th anubandha is how to study this great scripture. How? In technical language, it is called sambandha. Those who want technical names, aim, prayojan. In simple English, why we study. Fitness, technical word, adhikari. For whom is this, or who shall benefit? Subject matter, technically, vishaya, what we are studying. What we are studying. And sambandha, connection, or how we are to study. Now, how many ways are there to study? One is to gather information. That is not our way. Some people say to get intellectually convinced. That is not our way. We have to experience that. We have to experience what is told in the Bhagavata Mahapurana. I will quote an anecdote. The Supreme Lady of Vraja, Radha, is standing. Near her, one of her friends is standing. And at a little distance, somebody has called on Krishna Shyam. Radha says, those who can understand Bengali, Ke bas sunai no Shyamal naam, kaner bhitere diya mora me poshino go, akul korilo mor pran. My friend who has uttered the name of Shyam, through my ears, it has gone and touched the very core of my being. And I have become extremely restless, eager to get to him, to see him, to experience him. Now, this should be our approach. The hearing, studying, talking of Bhagavatam should produce such a hankering to get at the aim through the path of bhakti. Along with other paths maybe, or you may say with such a eagerness we should study this. Now, the intellect also will play its part to understand why the great scripture is telling this, what is the purpose, what is the implied meaning. This we have to apply our brain also, but that is the secondary thing. So this how, critically and devotionally. Critically means, as I said, why, how, and devotionally means the great hankering to realize it. So this is an important fourth point, how. Without this, people go on studying, they get PhDs, DSCs, who are not concerned with that. So, having discussed this, now particular attention is to Puranas, Bhagavata Mahapurana. And yesterday, some people asked me, Shiv Purana and this and that. So, if you are interested, I will just read out the list which I avoided yesterday, but it can be found out, not difficult. I will just read out. Mahapuranas 18. Brahma Puran, Padma Puran, Vishnu Puran, Shiva Puran, Srimad Bhagavata Mahapurana, Narada Puran, Markandeya Puran, Agni Puran, Bhavishya Puran, Brahma Vaivarta Puran, Linga Puran, Varaha Puran, Skanda Puran, Vaman Puran, Kurma Puran, Matsya Puran, Garuda Puran, Brahmanda Puran. Upapuranas, Sanat Kumar Praman, Kapila Samba, Aditya Nrisimha, Ushana, Nandi, Maheshwara, Durvasa, Varuna, Saura, Bhagavata, Manu, Kalika, Parashara, Vasishtha, Shiva. Name is again there. Devi Bhagavat, some people ask. So Devi Bhagavat is in Upa Puran. Harivansha Puran, Vishnu Dharma Purva Puran, Vishnu Dharma Uttar Puran, you know.
So this Bhagavat is also in Upa Puran.
There is a name Bhagavat. It is not Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran. It is Bhagavat. Anyway, so just for curiosity or main Puranas, I read out the name. Now, yesterday, I read out to you what Swamiji has to say about Puranic literature. Now, the original is in Bengali and very, very terse language. And I read out one of the translations from the great master. But in complete verse of Swami Vivekananda, in the 6th volume, there is another translation. And it may be helpful to you. So today I will read out that. As I said, I am using only this notebook of mine. No book today. Swami Vivekananda on Puranas from Hinduism and Ramakrishna. By the word Shastras, the Vedas, without beginning and end are met. Wait a minute. Anyway, first, other than Swamiji, what the scholars think, what you call this Wikipedia talks, that also is noted. It corroborates what Swamiji has said. So let me read it out. Some portion. Puranas usually give prominence to a particular deity, usually in the form of stories related by one person to another. Stories, usually, most of them, etc., etc. Oh, here it is. Vedas are Vyasa is credited with completion of Puranas compilation. One of the main objectives of the Puranas was to make available the essence of the Vedas to the common man, and were basically meant not for scholars but for the ordinary man. They bring forth the Vedic knowledge and teachings by way of myth, parables, allegories, and stories, legends, life stories of kings and other prominent persons, and chronology of historical events. The Puranas unfold the principles of Hinduism in a very simple way. So understood that stories. Now, Swamiji, and yesterday some words I found out in the Bengali original Sanskrit words, Alpa Buddhi and Kshina Buddhi. I will come to that, but Alpa Buddhi can be, somebody suggested me to translate. Alpa Buddhi means small intellect. Kshina Buddhi means dead intellect. Dead. Actually, literal meaning will be exhausted. Kshina means exhausted intellect. So I am saying dead intellect. Now, I am jumping to that point first. Puranas are meant for dull intellects or small intellects who cannot appreciate the subtle truths of Vedanta directly. That is the real meaning. Gross intellect and subtle intellect. So this gross intellect, we say in our language, mota buddhi. So this gross intellect cannot enter the subtler truths of Vedanta. So Puranas were meant. Puranas came into existence to help the Alpa Buddhi people to appreciate the Vedantic truths. But people, due to lack of dispassion, became people with dead intellects. And they could not even understand why the Puranas are meant for the dull intellects. So the Kshudra Buddhi, Alpa Buddhi, has to understand that he is Alpa Buddhi. Puranas are meant for him by gross stories to explain the subtler truths of Vedanta. But if this is lost due to lack of dispassion, due to rise of desires in our mind, then the intellect becomes dead and it cannot appreciate what the Puranas are. We'll come to that. And the results of that. So the best translations would be small intellect or gross intellect and exhausted intellect or dead intellect. By the word Shastras, the Vedas without beginning and end are meant. In matters of religion, the Vedas are the only capable authority. The Puranas and other religious scriptures are all denoted by the word Smriti, and their authority goes as far as they follow the Vedas and do not contradict them. Truth is of two kinds: that which is cognizable by the five senses of ordinary man and by reasoning based upon them. Second, that which is cognizable by the subtle supersensuous power of yoga. Supersensuous, it calls it always, subtle. Knowledge acquired by the first means is called science, and knowledge acquired by the second is called the Vedas. The whole body of supersensuous truths, having no beginning or end, and called by the name of the Vedas, is ever existent. The Creator Himself is creating, preserving, and destroying the universe with the help of these truths. The person in whom this supersensuous power is manifested is called a rishi, and the supersensuous truths which he realizes by this power are called the Vedas. This rishihood, this power of supersensuous perception of the Vedas is real religion. And so long as this does not develop in the life of the initiate spiritual aspirant, so long is religion a mere empty word for him. And it is to be understood that he has not taken yet the first step in religion. The authority of the Vedas extends to all ages, climes, and persons. That is to say, their application is not confined to any particular place, time, and person. The Vedas are the only exponent of the universal religion. Although the supersensuous vision of truths is to be met with in some measure in our Puranas and Itihasas and in the religious scriptures of other races, still the fourfold scriptures known among the Aryan race as the Vedas, being the first, the most complete, and the most undistorted collection of spiritual truths, deserves to occupy the highest place among all scriptures, command the respect of all nations of the world, and furnish the rationale of their respective scriptures. Rationale, ultimate proof. Okay, this is all about the Vedas. The Puranas, etc., have taken up the truths embedded in the Vedanta and have explained them in detail in the course of describing the exalted life and deeds of avatars and others. They have each emphasized, besides, some out of the infinite aspect of the divine Lord to teach men about them, about some. But when by the process of time, fallen from the true ideals and rules of conduct and devoid of the spirit of renunciation, addicted only to blind usages. Man wants to appear religious. He has lost everything religious. So he simply addicts to the usages going on and thinks I am religious. Usages and degraded in intellect, that is Kshina Buddhi. Kshina Buddhi, degraded in intellect, he says. The descendants of the Aryan fail to appreciate even the spirit of these Puranas. What is the spirit of the Puranas? Which taught men of ordinary intellect, Alpa Buddhi. The abstruse truths, abstruse means Sukshma, of the Vedanta in concrete form, Sthul, and diffused language. What is diffused language? In Bengali, Bahu Vistruta Bhasha. You understand Bahu Vistruta?
In details. In details.
Not detail. Not detail. You see, you take a small something. You have seen the air bubbles?
Yeah.
So small soap something is there. And it becomes big. It does not contain anything or contains very little. That is called diffused language. Bahu Vistruta. Bahu Vistruta means just puffed up. That is Puranas, mind you. Now here I can add some words. Puranas generally have too much exaggeration, and in English it is said hyperbolic language. Hyperbolic. So that one should understand. This is not criticism of the Puranas, but how to understand Puranas. Now what happens? The abstruse truths of the Vedanta in concrete form and diffused language and appeared antagonistic to one another. That is the main point. Because they describe one deity to the detriment of others. So they appear antagonistic to one another on the surface. Inside, if you go, it is same. Because of each inculcating with special emphasis only particular aspect of the spiritual ideal. Sentences are not complete, dash, parenthetical clause. And when, as a consequence, they reduced India, the fair land of religion, to a scene of almost infernal confusion. Infernal is that volcano is burning. Confusion by breaking up piecemeal the one eternal religion of the Vedas, which is called Sanatana Dharma. The grand synthesis of all the aspects of the spiritual idea into conflicting sects, and by seeking to sacrifice one another in the flames of sectarian hatred and intolerance. So this is what is happening throughout the world. So we must understand that when we study the Puranas, we have to avoid these mistakes. We have to understand that our intellect should not be dead. Though we have Alpa Buddhi, but our tendency should be to go toward this with the help of that diffused language. One point. And we should also know that each Purana is one-sided. If we do not know this, this will happen. We quarrel, we want to sacrifice each other and like that instead of going religious. So, first point, stool language. Second point, one-sided. So antagonistic to each other, conflicting. Now, if we remember these 2 points, then our study of Puranas will be successful. That is what Swamiji wants here. Now, in this connection, let me tell something more. Those who are interested or all should be interested throughout the complete works of Swami Vivekananda. He has talked about Puranas in so many places. What are their special characteristics? What are their defects? What happens if we blindly follow them? And those who are interested, I have made a collection of wherever the word Puranas occurs in the complete works of Swami Vivekananda in a file.
We are interested.
Hardly it is 16 pages or so. So those who want, I can send that file also by email. Now the original thing, many people asked me, but that is a huge book and it cannot go by email. So those who are requested, I'll be sending by the Google Drive. That is the only way to send. Okay? So now, where we are. Anything remaining? Yes. Now, about the Vedas and all that we studied. So, Vedas may be the original scriptures, accepted. Vedas may be the rationale of all scriptures, of all races, accepted. But we are people of dull intellect. And so we have come to Bhagavata Purana. We have come to Puranic studies because we do not claim to have that subtle intellect to penetrate into Vedanta. That we must remember. That we have to study Bhagavata Purana. Why Bhagavata Purana? Now, one more thing let me tell you. Of all these defects which I have told, drawbacks, Bhagavata is the least of them. Bhagavata is much more broad and universal in it. Oh, one more point remained. The name Bhagavata, Srimad Bhagavata Mahapurana. Srimad is an honorific title. What is Bhagavata?
God. Bhagavad.
Oh, I want an important point has remained. About Bhagavan. Now, what is this Bhagavan? You see,
6.
many foreigners are listening to this and they ask me the question. So, I told the story many times. Mr. Subodh Mukherjee working in an office as executive engineer. In the office, he is called XN. His friends call him Mr. Mukherjee. In the house, he is Subodh Babu. These 3 persons are not different. What is different? 3 frames of reference. In the same way, when we ask what is the reality ultimate of this whole universe, we call it Brahman or Nirguna aspect, impersonal God. When we ask what is our own individual's ultimate reality, we call it Atman. And when we seek who is the ruler of this world, we call him Ishwar or Bhagavan. Bhagavan literally means he has, you give me Gita. Gita. Now, any Sanskrit? Sanskrit is good, I know the placing. Now, let me put in simple words. The Jnani is Brahma. The yogi is Atma. And Bhaktas, Bhagavan. Bhaktas, Ishvara or Bhagavan. So about same reality, three names. Three approaches, three aspects. So we are dealing with the Bhakti scripture. We want to walk the path of devotion. So for us, Bhagavan. And Bhagavata means about God, about Bhagavan, nothing more. It does not say it is about Krishna only. It is about Bhagavan. Now this Bhagavan usually is an avatar. Why? From Vishnu Puran, Shankaracharya has quoted in the commentary in the 3rd chapter of the Gita. That is where the word Shri Bhagavan Vacha comes. Introductory commentary to Shloka 37 of 3rd chapter. English? No, we are located. Now the words, let them be in English. 3rd chapter, 37. Bhaga is said to consist of Bhagavan. Bhaga is said to consist of all kinds of majesty, virtue, fame, beauty, detachment, as well as liberation.
Six.
Important point is that he has everything, but he has dispassion. And he is full, he is always liberated, he is always free. So these 6 always stay with avatar, so he is called Bhagavan. Okay? So Bhagavan for the devotee, the Sanskrit words are Aishwaryasya Samagrasya Dharmasya Yashasa Shriya Vairagyasya Atha Mokshasya Shandam Bhaga Iti Rana. The other definition is for only knowledge, like Vyasa. Okay. So, an important point we should remember, need not have dispute or quarrel. They are names of the same reality in different context. Brahman, in English, impersonal God or Brahman itself. And self with a capital S, self of all, Atman. And Ishvara, the ruler, or Bhagavan, who possesses these 6 qualities. So they are not different. Now what is the point here? One more important point is there. No? We are going to use our love faculty, feeling. Now we want somebody who can respond to our love. He can reciprocate our love. And as I defined, it is not actually we are loving, actually he is loving. We feel we are loving. So if we feel we are loving, we have to love a personal God. They are not two things, but the personal aspect of God, he only can love us back. He can respond to our love. He can attract us. So that is essential in the study of Bhakti Yoga. If some people, due to another type of weakness of brain, another type of weakness of brain? Rational is the most irrational thing in this life. They can't understand this person. Then Bhakti is not for them. If they don't understand the personal God, then where will Bhakti be? So, basically, if you divide a man, go inside the man, he has an addiction, a complete feeling for some personal God. He may not show it outside, being a modern scientist, rational man. Swami Vivekananda said, if you scratch the skin a little, all that will come out, his devotion to God. And that is why we are studying this path of devotion, directed to a personal God. Not a different God, but personal aspect of God who can respond to our love, he can reciprocate our love, he can love us. Actually, he is the source of all love. He is loving us, attracting us continuously. So, from tomorrow, we can enter the text of Bhagavatam, and some people have asked for that. I have not been able to send up till now. So tomorrow we don't have class. Next class is on Thursday. So tomorrow I will send to whoever has asked me, about 6-7 people, my Google Drive. That Sridhar Tika Hindi. Now yesterday what price I told? Did I tell something?
1500.
That is gone, dull, dead. 15,000.
Yes.
I remember suddenly that I made that mistake. That 9 volumes cost 15,000. About means through this couriers we have found. So somewhere 20,000, somewhere 15,400. So around 15,000.
Who is the author?
The other things I told correctly.
Yes, Shiv Prasad Dwivedi.
That is Acharya Shiva Prasad Dwivedi. And the beauty of that book, as I again and again telling, is not only Sridhar Tika, but Anvay syntax and according to Sridhar Tika, the direct translation of the shlokas. And let me repeat that what the listener should have is any Bhagavata shlokas with any language which suits them, preferably if syntax and word by word meaning of the shlokas is given, fine. Let me tell one more thing. Ramakrishna Mission has published English translation of Bhagavatam in 4 volumes. The translation is by revered Swami Tapasyanji Maharaj, but it has missed the mark. Those who want to use it are free to use it. Gita Press also has an English translation. Somebody said he has a beautiful Bengali translation. Some
Prabhupada.
Huh?
Some Prabhupada.
No. It is just now.
Prabhupada.
I will tell just now. महानम्रता ब्रह्मचारी ग्रेट ज्ञानी आचार्य.
महानम्रता ब्रह्मचारी. हाँ. किंतु completed ना हमारे. Few
हाँ.
hours. Completed ना few hours.
हाँ. बांग्ला भागवतम अच्छे.
हाँ.
Not complete, little portion.
So that is the Bengali. We do not require people having theoretical. If they want, it is a different thing. If they want to order, also are given 15,000 rupees, and if they are satisfied with my PDF file, I am going to send. But it's a huge file, so it cannot be sent by ordinary email. It has to go by Google Drive. And that tomorrow I can send, because next class will be day after tomorrow. Oh, I think today I am satisfied I have been able to tell everything. And other than Swamiji also I read. Same thing. And Swamiji's detailed analysis also we have seen. And various places, as I said, Swamiji has talked about Puranas in so many forms. So that collection, if anybody wants, it can go by email. It's a small file of 16 pages or so. Om Janmadasya Yatonvayaditarata Charte Swavidnashwarat Tene Brahmaridaya Adi Kavaye Muyanti Yat Suraya Tejo Vari Mridam Yatha Vinimayo Yatra Trisargo Mrisha Dhamna Svena Sada Nirasta Kuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.